Get over here. Get over here.
What?
Get over here.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yeah, you are. You just cursed me off.
That's not a crime.
Yes, it is.
Says who?
Says me.
Says who?
Turn around. Come on.
Bro, that is not a fucking crime.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Why are you cursing me?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
Today's story revolves around a man who, against all odds, manages to stand his ground with law enforcement, resulting in an unexpected twist. Our episode delves into the complex world of stop and ID laws, Terry stops, and reasonable suspicion. Our source for today's interaction is none other than King Black News and Visuals YouTube channel, 2023 in Newark, New Jersey. Several officers of the Newark Police Department confront Mr. KB, the man behind the camera, following a 911 call, describing a suspicious individual possibly carrying a firearm.
I'm walking away.
Huh?
Am I free to go?
Why are you giving me the finger?
Am I free to go?
No. Come
For
here.
what reason?
Why are you giving me the finger?
I'm free to go. Am I free to go?
What's your problem?
Am I free to go?
No.
What, do you have a problem?
No.
Do you have a problem?
No.
As officers approach, Mr. KB immediately begins to document the incident. His defensive stance, coupled with his insistence on the officer's lack of reasonable suspicion and a demand for body cameras to be turned on, sets the tone for the encounter. Despite the increasing tension, Mr. KB remains resolute, asserting his right to work in peace. He also states his discontent at being treated like a terrorist by the officers, indicating a deeper societal issue at play.
Whatever.
Fuck you.
What?
You heard me.
Come here.
I'm afraid of you.
Come here. Get over here. Get over here.
What?
Get over here.
I'm not doing anything illegal.
Yeah, you are. You just cursed me off.
That's
Turn
not a
around.
crime.
Yes, it is.
Says who?
Says me.
Says
Turn-
who?
Turn around. Come on.
Bro, that is not a fucking crime.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Why are you cursing me?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
It's not a crime.
What's your name?
Help! Help!
No help.
Help! Help!
Yo.
Help!
What follows is a complex legal discussion. It is well established that officers can request identification during a Terry stop. However, without state law making it a requirement, individuals are not legally obligated to comply.
So what am I doing though? What am I doing that made him detain me? What legal right?
Every time I rode by him twice, he shot me the finger. So I turned around and said, "Well, you're
Is that a crime?
No problem." Then he tells me
That's not a crime.
causing public disturbance.
Then he
That's
tells
not,
me to
no, that's not a crime.
F off, pig.
Yeah, fuck off, big. That's not a crime. That's not a crime. He's looking at you because he's like, what the fuck you want me to do? Because it's not a crime. I know my rights.
Who are you?
I don't have to say any of that.
You do if you're being detained.
What's that?
You do if you're being detained.
For what reason?
What
What
is your
legal
name?
reason am I being detained for?
Where are you coming from and where are you
What
going?
legal reason am I being detained for? I need to know that. Legally, I need to know that.
Why are you
Shooting me the finger.
Why are you
Is that illegal?
Why are you
Cursing at
flipping the bird? Yes, it is. It's causing a public disturbance and a public alarm if you are cursing
So
in
a
public.
single one.
So when you are cursing in public, you are causing a public disturbance. You're being a nuisance to the public.
In what way? When he was driving past?
Our case unfolds in New Jersey, which interestingly is not a stop and ID state. Typically, officers in New Jersey do not have the authority to demand identification outside of a traffic stop, unless they are making an arrest or issuing a summons.
Strange. I'm making sure you're okay.
Dude, that's so funny. Like, you're not here for my safety. You're not trying to protect
How
me.
do you know?
You're walking
may
on the
be-
side of the road and you're cursing and you're flipping the bird.
Once at him. I gave him the finger once. That
you know
will
him?
not hold
Do
up.
you know him?
That will not hold
Why
up
are
in
you
a
giving
court
him
of
the
law.
finger?
That will not hold up in a court of
Why
law.
are you giving
I
him
know
the
my
finger?
rights.
Do you know him?
It's not your business.
Do you know him?
It's not your business. I
It is
plead the
my
fifth.
business.
I plead the fifth then. You guys make nothing out of
So,
something.
by you cursing and using vulgar gestures,
So what's the First Amendment for?
It's causing a public disturbance.
What's
and a
the
public
First
alarm.
Amendment for?
Okay. The First Amendment is for your freedom of speech. Okay.
Okay.
What does that have to do with
Was I
using
making a call
gestures?
to action? Was I making a call to action?
This brings us to a key point about lawful detention. The U.S. Supreme Court has clarified that an investigative detention must be temporary and last no longer than necessary to effectuate the purpose of the stop. But how long is too long? And how does this apply to our case at hand? Stay tuned as we continue to unravel this riveting case.
Free to go, and you all
I
of a
said
sudden,
stop, and you ran down here. That's
I wasn't running. I was walking.
Once he
So
gives an order
let's
for you
be
to
honest
stop,
here.
you're supposed to stop.
I did stop when he originally said it, but I was asking, is it
And then he
illegal?
told me
Is it a
to F
lawful
off,
order?
and he took off.
Yeah, because I kept walking because you weren't pursuing at the first. You only started pursuing because
So
I said,
listen.
"Fuck you, pig." That's when
Listen.
you got a little upset.
Okay, so
you
listen.
got his panties in the
So
pants.
listen,
All right.
we're here at this point now. Okay, you've brought the attention to yourself. You've
Yep.
caused the public alarm.
Yep.
So now,
Well,
what
I'd like
we
to
are
see
doing-
you legally
so
hold
now
that
what we
in
are
court,
doing,
because-
well, I'm not charging you with anything, so I
Well,
don't
I
legally
would-
need to hold anything in court.
Well,
Okay,
I
what
could-
I'm doing is
I
I'm
could always
trying to
bring
figure
this
out
up.
why you're walking on the side of the road, okay, and why you're continuing to signal to a police officer.
I wasn't signaling.
Okay.
See, now you changed the story.
so-
Now you're changing the story. Was I signaling, or which one was it?
So
'Cause
what
now
were you
you're-
doing?
Essentially, the court argued that when officers decide not to issue a summons, it implies they have concluded no criminal activity is taking place. Further detainment to run warrant checks was deemed unnecessary and improper. This resonates with our current situation. The officers agreed that Mr. KB was not engaging in any criminal activity. Using the logic from the Chisholm case, asking for Mr. KB's identification would serve no purpose in their response to the 911 call about a man with a firearm.
He just admitted that
Now
he
what
was going
happens
to
is when
arrest
he
me.
gives you a lawful order to stop and you do
It
not
wasn't a
stop,
lawful order, though.
and you do not stop,
It legally was not a
and
lawful
you
order.
do not stop, then that becomes a criminal offense, and then yes, you can be put under
But
arrest.
it's not a lawful order. Then I take it to court, and then he'd get sued, and I get
Maybe.
punitive damages. I'd be rich as fuck. Is that what you want?
That
Oh,
may,
you don't know the
that
law,
may
buddy.
be what happens
You don't know
if
the
you
law.
think that that's what's going to happen.
As previously discussed, refusal to identify oneself during a Terry stop is not a crime in New Jersey, even if officers may need the information for their reports. This leads us to believe a court would likely conclude that the officers had no reasonable suspicion to prolong Mr. KB's detention once their initial suspicions were dispelled, making their actions potentially a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Mr. KB continues, asserting his knowledge and experience, stating he's been dealing with situations like this for 15 years and never providing IDs. His conviction in asserting his rights is clear, as he stands unyielding before the law enforcement officers. Finally, the moment arrives when the supervisor reveals that Mr. KB will soon be free to leave. Yet there's one more hurdle, the demand for his identification because he was stopped. This persistent demand for identification, even after their suspicion was dispelled, continues to challenge the principles of the Fourth Amendment as explored in our episode.
That's all it is. Okay?
He's such a fucking pig, bro.
So what does that make you?
Not a pig.
What does
Dude,
that
this
make
is
you for
illegal.
saying?
This is illegal, buddy.
What is the point?
This is illegal.
There's nothing illegal about it.
Yes, it is.
It is
You want to bet
not.
money on it?
We're gonna find
We'll-
out.
we'll see in court, bud.
Listen, we're gonna find out. Okay.
We'll
When
see.
you cause a public disturbance and a public alarm and you become a nuisance to the public, okay,
You'll legally have to prove that I was a nuisance
When
to
you're
the public.
standing-
How will you do that? How will you do that? I just want to hear
camera
your-
systems. Okay, so when he goes by in the car, okay, and he sees you doing what you're doing,
And what was
that's
I
all gonna
doing?
be there.
In a landmark case, Florida v. JL, 2000, the Supreme Court ruled that an anonymous tip about an individual carrying a gun was insufficient to justify a Terry stop without additional supporting evidence. Despite the suspect matching the tipster's description, the court emphasized that the unverified and unaccountable nature of the informant invalidated the tip. The officer's primary concern seemed to be completing their paperwork rather than respecting Mr. KB's constitutional rights. Even departmental policies cannot override the constitutional rights of citizens, a trap many law enforcement officers fall into. It's crucial for officers to remember that both state law and the Constitution supersede any standard operating procedures or paperwork necessities.
I'm asking you, where would I go to press charges against a police officer?
You would have to come down and file a complaint with
It's
the courts.
at this police station?
You would have to file a complaint with the courts.
Got it.
Okay, and then you can go from there if you want to see if you can press charges and whatnot if you
Perfect.
violated your rights.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Stay
All
out
right,
of the
am I
roadway.
free to go?
Don't give us fingers.
Shut the fuck up.
Stay out of the roadway. Stop causing a public alarm.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Am I
Stop
free to go?
cursing.
Am I
You're free to go.
Stop cursing. Go fuck.
You're free to go.